the movie for today is Three Tough Guys. And I'm going to take a cue from my man Josiah Howard, who wrote the book Blaxploitation, the Essential Reference Guide. Um, he said that the title should actually be Two Tough Guys and a cameo from a third guy or something like that. Because when you look at this poster, and I always thought this, you would think that the three main actors are working together throughout this movie. I mean, like that's how I always thought it is that, Isaac Hayes, Lino Ventura, Fred Williamson, that they were the three tough guys working together, but turns out it's not that way. So who do you have in the movie? Obviously, you got main man Isaac Hayes, and it turned out this was his first starring role in this particular movie. You have Lino Ventura, who is an Italian-born actor, was very popular in French movies, and I mean, like from what I could kind of research and find out, is he was the dude. He did a lot of movies, so he's very popular. And then playing a kind of a small role is Fred Williamson as and I should have said this. Lino Ventura plays a character named Father Charlie, a priest named Father Charlie. Isaac Hayes plays an ex-cop named Lee Stevens. Fred Williamson plays a character named Joe Snake Marshall. And then you also have in this movie the lovely Paula Kelly, may know her as Leggy Peggy from Uptown Saturday Night, which I covered a few episodes back, but she plays a character named Faye in this movie. All right. So the gist of it, it came out in 1974. And the gist of it is you have a priest and an ex-cop working together. The priest is trying to find out who killed his friend. The ex-cop is trying to solve a robbery that got him kicked off the force. That's the gist of it. So you kind of like, you start this movie with this white insurance investigator going into this black bar looking for this robber or for a thief. And then within minutes, both of them are dead. And you're like, wow, this is going to be like some action-packed stuff. And it is a really good movie. Again, what happens is it's a few kind of mysterious things that happen along the way where you wonder, is this person, with this person is a good thing type of deal? Like you get a point where Isaac Hayes as ex-cop Lee Stevens is following Father Charlie. So you're like, is he after the priest? But ultimately they wind up working together because what happened is the insurance investigator was a friend of Father Charlie, who got the insurance investigator who got killed. The robbery in itself that took place is what got Isaac Hayes kicked off the force, because what turns out is he was lured away by his girlfriend while he was on watch. And when his girlfriend lured him away, that's when the robbery took place. Okay, so he ultimately got kicked off the force for leaving his post, and that allowed the robbery to happen. And so as they're working together, you kind of find some things out that Paula Kelly as Faye, she winds up being the girlfriend that lured Isaac Hayes away. Then she was really the girlfriend of the robber. So she wound up setting him up. But once the robber gets killed and, people start trying to track down the money, she calls for help because she knows they're going to come after her. And she says that she doesn't know where the money is. But later on, towards the end of the movie, you find out that she really does know where the money is. And so that's kind of one of the things that happens. And then the funny thing that happens is when Father Charlie and Officer Stevens are working together, kind of seems like every lead they get when they start following up on people, every lead they get, people end up getting killed or dying, almost to the point where it's like, if you see, this priest and this cop coming to talk to you, you might want to go the other way because it probably ain't gonna turn out good for you. And so some highlights about the movie are, it was filmed in Chicago. Now, again, the title itself is misleading. It really, this is another poster for tough guys. And that's what I think the movie should have been referred to as Two Tough Guys, because you got Father Charlie, Officer Stevens working together. And, Fred Williamson just kind of has some smaller bit roles in there. And, you know, this was Isaac Hayes. It was his first leading role in a movie. So you'll be able to tell that too because his acting is a little stunted, not as well as when he did Truck Turner later on, and some of his later movies up to the 80s and 90s. You could tell he was still kind of raw and new in this one, but nevertheless, good movie, and I would highly recommend it. So that's one of the posters. Um, this is, like I said, Lino Ventura was really big in Italy and France. So this is the Italian version. I'm in Iduri, and you can see how much more he's highlighted than Isaac Hayes, Fred Williamson, and Paul Kelly. And then this is the French version, Les Dours, which is see, they didn't even put Fred Williamson on the poster, just Lino and Isaac. And then another reason why I think the Isaac Hayes did the soundtrack and the theme song. I don't even think the theme song is called Three Tough Guys. I think it's just called Tough Guys. And then in the hook, where he, sings the chorus and everything, he never says three tough guys. He always says two tough guys, preacher men, policemen working together and stuff like that. And then he says they're two tough guys. So even the theme song never references three tough guys. So I think they just called it Three Tough Guys to capitalize on Fred Williamson's popularity. Because I always loved this poster. But again, I didn't see that coming that Fred Williamson winds up actually being the villain. So but the few scenes that he does have, Fred Williamson has such charisma and magnetism that every scene he's in is going to be kind of powerful. So let me share one with you that I thought was pretty cool. Let's go over there, take a look at this.
My cat downstairs is asking a lot of questions, Joe.
Hey, now I don't like no cats coming up behind me. Now you know how nervous I am about my back, baby. Now next time you face me, you hear?
So even, that's like probably one of, I can probably count on my hand how many scenes Fred Williamson really is in. And that's one of them. And, like I said, even though he's only in there a short period of time, he makes his impact. Another funny scene that I like is, you know, Stevens and Father Charlie, they're kind of out looking for, once they find out that the robber who got killed had a girlfriend, and they wind up going out on the strip looking for her, or, kind of in the main area looking for her. And they're just kind of like an area where hookers and hustlers and everything in between kind of hang out. And so this is a little funny scene where one of the hookers hits on Father Charlie. So let's check that out.
Say, baby, you got some fire.
Sorry, I don't smoke.
Oh, you must have some healthy advice.
I what?
My crib's not far from here. For 10 and 10, I'll give you Sodom and Gomorrah.
No, thanks.
Okay, 10 then. No Sodom, just Gomorrah.
No, thanks.
Racist. Funny?
Maybe. I played with a doll when I was a kid.
Why didn't you say so? I have a kid brother. He got to make some bread, too.
Didn't hear what he said when she asked him if he was funny. But I think it's obvious that what she meant by funny wasn't what he interpreted it as. And so, she meant funny like, hey, and I think he just meant funny like humorous or hilarious. So his response, and then, how he responded was hilarious to me. So I just thought that was pretty good. Okay. But again, good watch if you're a Blaxploitation fan. Three Tough Guys, you got to check it out. And then I'll leave you with this. This is my favorite scene of the movie. Now, when you watch it, it's nothing but a shootout, but it's just, to me, it. Hopefully, you'll be able to figure out why this is my favorite scene. So let's go ahead and check that out.
I'm gonna referee this shootout.
So, to me, I just thought that was the one of the best scenes in the movie. Or maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me. See what I did there? So the background music, that is the song Hung Up on My Baby, one from the soundtrack by Isaac Hayes. And anybody that caught that, that's the sample, the song that the Ghetto Boy sample for Mind Playing Tricks on Me, as well as Second Enough. DJ Quick's homies used it for If You Want It. So when I was watching this, and I always knew that song came from this movie, but when I was watching it and it just kind of kicked in during that scene, it just, nostalgia and the whole nine. I just thought that was, for me, my favorite scene in the movie. So if we had to recap it real quick, uh, basically three tough guys. You got an insurance investigator gets killed. The thief he's investigating gets killed. A priest starts investigating. Cop joins him. The priest gets kidnapped. The cop gets kidnapped. A girl who says she doesn't know where the money is really does know where the money is. And eventually you discover that Fred Williamson was the killer all along. So there you have it. Three tough guys. Go check it out.